Hello children, and welcome back once again to another lesson of your English NCERT textbook class 10. Today I thought of appearing before you so that I can give you the feel of a real classroom. As human beings, as we all know, are social animals, we cannot be, far from each other for a long period of time. But as lockdown continues, we have to. And so here I am once again with this video. Hope it works better. Now today's topic is one of Robert Frost's famous poems, Fire and Ice. And now here you can see the title of the poem along with an image. Now children, let your power of imagination soar high. Let your wings of interpretation flitter. And now think about what thoughts come to your mind when you relate the title of the poem with the image given here. Right? Now let's move on to the next slide where you get a short introduction to the poem. Fire and Ice is one of Robert Frost's most popular poems. It was published in December 1920 in Harper's Magazine and in 1923 in his Pulitzer Prize winning book New Hampshire. It discusses the end of the world, likening the elemental force of fire with the emotion of desire and ice with hate. It is one of Frost's best known and most anthologized poems. Here children, you can see that there's a reference to Dante's Inferno, and there is one more connection which you can see in the slide. Why I'm mentioning it? Because with the help of these two connections, you can have a better comprehension of the poem. Now, the poem itself, it goes like this: Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. Some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. Children, the meaning of the word perish is die, to die, and suffice means to be sufficient. Now look at the summary of the poem. Robert Frost's poem Fire and Ice is a strong symbolic poem where fire is used as the emotion of desire and ice that of hatred. He has used the idea of two groups who have their own possible explanation for the end of the world. One is of the opinion that fire alone can destroy each and every possibility of life on earth, while the other thinks that if ice as a result of extreme low temperature could cover the earth's surface, it would lead to the end of the world. Both the components are compared with self-destructing human emotions, desire and hatred. The poet is originally of the opinion that he has been very closely associated with the fiery desires and considers it capable of bringing human beings on the verge of destruction. Thus, he considers fire as more competent for destruction. But then, in the next stanza, he thinks that icy hatred, I repeat, icy hatred is just as capable of ruining humans, though slowly and steadily. Therefore, if earth was to end twice, ice would be just as good as fire. If fire would lead to rapid destruction, ice would lead to silent damage. Similarly, if fire is pure passion, ice is pure reason. Thus, the poem very artistically underpins the philosophy that we let our emotions rule us, and if don't control them, they will surely bring us all on the verge of chaos and destruction. Now, after the summary, look at the stanza-wise explanation given in the slides. First stanza, I repeat, talks about two groups of people, one favoring ice and one favoring fire. And the poet goes with the first group that favors fire, the destruction of earth. Now, go to the next stanza. Here, the poet reconsiders ice as the element of destruction of earth. He says that ice is as good as fire for the destruction of earth. And here, fire and ice are being used as symbols for what? You know very well, these are used as symbols for what? Representing human emotions of desire and hatred, which can bring destruction on this earth. Now, look at the themes, major themes in the poem. I reiterate again the human emotions of desire and hatred, which are being symbolized by fire and ice. Now, let us look at the construction, the form of the poem. Here, you can see the poem is iambic in nature. Children, iambic means having a rhythm. The way we have rhythm in music, the way we have different genres of music, in the same way, poems also have iamb, and when they are iambic in nature, again they have different varieties of being iambic. So basically it provides or gives rhythm to the poem. Okay. Now, if you have understood the form of the poem, you will see that different poetic devices are being used in the poem. You all are very, very familiar with these poetic devices. Now, try and relate, understand whether or how justified the use of the poetic devices in the poem, relate the meaning of each and every poetic device and the example from the text. Now, moving on to the next slide, where you can see the key points on the poem, with the help of which you can summarize the entire poem. The speaker considers the age-old question of whether the world will end in fire or in ice. This is similar to another age-old question, whether it would be preferable to freeze to death or burn to death. The speaker determines that either option would achieve its purpose sufficiently well. And finally, here in the poem, the poet talks about again of human emotions, which are actually the tools, the agents of destruction of human beings, with the help of the two symbols, fire and ice. So with this, we come to the end of the poem, and I hope now you have a better understanding of the poem. Children, we should always look for a silver lining at times of adversity, and now at this lockdown time where we can't meet each other, we can utilize our time, so do as much research work you can, read literature, pursue, delve into your hobbies and have a good time. Read more, write more, and stay safe. Thank you.